I don't play with my kids. I talk to them. I feed them, I read to them, I cuddle them, I kiss them when they are sad, and I work to pay for their lives.
Pay for their lives.
They have friends to play with. I would rather die than play with them. It is boring beyond acceptability. Hey Spuds, it's Jamie. Welcome back to another video. If that's been on the channel, I don't know, but welcome either way. I'm very glad to have you here. And today we are looking through the subreddit of insane parents, but it's more kind of like entitled parents and just parents that are not parenting so great. And we're going to have a look through some examples of that and have a chat about it and why it's not so great. Ways of parenting, lots of invasions of privacy and controlling kids and expecting your kids to be like absolute miniature versions of you and think and speak and act in the exact same way as the parent does and do everything you want them to do and all of that stuff. Yeah, so let's have a look. Woohoo! Also, at least one of these posts is from somebody rather well known, but I am going to block their name because we don't need that on the channel and we don't need to give them any kind of publicity or shout outs. So woohoo! Well, my kids don't have phones, and the only way to access the internet in my home is through my phone or my wife's phone or my laptop, and my kids have access to none of those. So yes, I can and do control it because I'm a responsible parent, and that's what responsible parents do. And the person also followed up with, my children's schoolmates are their siblings. So I'm guessing they're also homeschooled, so they have literally no way of accessing any kind of information or social interaction that is outside their own home. And that just seems really, particularly knowing who the person is who tweeted this. Wow. I don't know how old their kids are. It's just really uncomfortable to kind of think about a household where kids are cut off from literally anything that is not to do with their own household. And what it sounds like is there's a high probability the only views on the world that they are allowed to learn about, let alone like there's no choice even being made. It's not like they're being told like, oh no, that way is wrong, this way is right. It's literally just this is the way. All of that is just coming from the parents. To me, that just sounds like fearful parents. They're too scared for their children to go out and form their own opinions on the world and form their own opinions about people and things and just anything really. It all has to be spoon-fed to them and be exactly what the parents are thinking. There's no access to the internet. There's no schoolmates outside their own siblings who are in the exact same situation as them. That sounds really scary. Like, it's okay for your children to be exposed to different ways of living. In my personal opinion, this is how I'm going to raise my kids. I could not imagine being able to teach my children about how deep the world is and how much there is and how rich the world is and how different people can be and how wonderful our differences can be. And then also teach them about the danger of certain things as well, and let them learn from other people that know more about certain topics and certain communities and certain things. I know nothing about history. I know very little. How am I supposed to teach my child that? How are they going to get a full education from me? I don't know what this person has done to know. I'm not saying that homeschooling is always a bad thing. I just think for me, I would absolutely be wanting my kids to be socializing and experiencing the world outside of our household. I don't want them to be sheltered like that. It's kind of scary. A few years ago, we gave our daughter, now 18, a stuffed bear for her birthday. At the time, we had recently discovered she had a boyfriend whom she was hiding from us. It was quite a shock. We wanted to be able to keep a closer eye on what she was doing without breaking her trust. No. Oh no, please don't tell me this is going where I thought it was going. Oh, I have a vibe. We wanted to be able to keep a closer eye on what she was doing without breaking her trust. So we installed a hidden camera inside the eye of the stuffed bear. Oh, that's actually like giving me like a bad shiver. Like, no. Our daughter is now in college and we overheard her telling her roommate it's gone to college with her. They spy on her in her college dorm, telling her roommate how grateful she was for our trust in her and our support. We have been racked with guilt ever since, as you should be. How can we tell our daughter about the camera without destroying our relationship with her? Should we tell her at all? That's some of the most horrendous stuff that I've ever read, and like, I often feel bad and like guilty for people who are feeling guilty about something they've done, and I'm struggling in this situation to feel bad for these parents or feel any kind of sympathy for them that they're now feeling guilty over it and they're scared of destroying the relationship. The only person I feel bad for is their daughter, because not only have they fully broken her trust, spied on her, not just in their own home, but in now her college home, and as a fully grown adult, they are spy. It's never okay to spy on your child, and the fact that they let her take this bear with her to college is just so gross. I think that's just an awful thing for the parents to do. But at the same time, I hope she never finds out. I hope they manage to get that bear back and just feel absolutely awful about it for the rest of their lives and never do anything like that ever again. But I hope she doesn't find out, because if I found out something like that, it really would destroy the trust. It would break down a relationship to me. Whoa. I don't know if it's maybe controversial of me to say I hope she never finds out. I was just saying that from my personal perspective of, I don't know if I would want to know that that had been done to me. I really don't. But then at the same time, I guess you're not having a fully genuine relationship, and she has the right to know what happened and has the right to have the relationship with her parents going forward based on the truth of what they're like and what they've done. I do get that. I just feel like that could be really damaging, not just to the relationship, but to her as an individual and like her trust in others. I don't know. Comment below what you think. Like, would you want to know? Do you think she should be told? You know, in the heart of honesty, yes, but God, I don't. And there's a response. This seems like one of those like agony column things. I have no doubt that your daughter's failure to tell you about her boyfriend, while not terribly uncommon behavior for a teenager, precisely, especially if in a very strict household. I'm not saying this was, but I mean, the fact that they spied on their daughter with a teddy bear camera maybe suggests there was something going on, was worrisome to you. Yes, but like, why not more than why could you not then have an open conversation with your daughter about it and just kind of set the parameters of your household rules of her having a boyfriend, as in like, he can come over but the door can't be shut kind of vibe. But the treachery and disproportion of your response to secretly film a young woman in the privacy of her bedroom was beyond the pale. Absolutely. It would constitute a crime in many jurisdictions and may explain why she kept her boyfriend a secret from you. It just feels like that's a really extreme behavior to do. Cannot be the first time they have done this kind of thing, right? What's more, it's not clear from your letter that you comprehend, even still, the gravity of your error. Yeah, it's like, oh, we feel guilty because she said she appreciates how much we trust her. But it's like, no, you should just feel absolutely abhorrently awful that you have spied on your daughter for multiple years, all because she did the very typical teenage thing of not telling you that she had a boyfriend. And I feel like that's even more typical in households that are particularly strict. And I know that like kids can vary and they may not tell you these things, even if you have a very open household. My aim is to create an environment where my kids would feel comfortable telling me what they want to tell me about what's going on with their lives and allowing me to offer advice on things, but ultimately not controlling their lives. Absolutely not spying on them. Oh, just how? Ew. No. Okay. Parents, you are the arseholes. Oh, we have more. So it was an article saying we spied on our teenage daughter with a hidden camera. Now, what do we do? Parents who installed a camera in the eye of their daughter's stuffed bear ask how and whether to come clean about their surveillance now that she has left for college. And then the response to it carries on with, sure, you say you're racked with guilt by your actions because your daughter praised you to a friend, but would you not be racked with guilt if she hadn't praised you? Good question. You also let yourselves off the hook far too easily when you claim that installing the camera allowed you to keep closer tabs on your daughter without breaking her trust. Yeah, that is just a absolutely ridiculous statement. That is absurd. You made a mockery of her trust. Personally, I can't imagine a healthy relationship with your daughter until you have confessed your behavior. I see it. At the same point, I'm not sure that you are yet capable of making a true apology or handling the likely fallout with your daughter. I suggest finding a therapist, a friend you respect, or possibly a faith leader with whom you discuss this episode more fully and make a plan for talking with your daughter. And if you haven't already, for heaven's sake, disable the camera now. Absolutely. I hope they disable that camera. Well, I wish they'd never set it up, but you know, I hoped as soon as they got that big twinge of guilt, it was off, never to be switched on again. All because I am 18, wanted to go out and didn't ask for my mother's also valuable permission. Oh wow, there's like text saying F you, all in caps, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. 10 times, because an adult went out without asking for permission. On with the emotional manipulation again. Yeah, I didn't stop you from anything, you stopped yourself. Huh? Sorry, I fell for it the first 100 or so times. You waited until the last possible second and then want to blame someone else for your failures. You were told not to leave or not to come back and you still took off. How are you going to finish school now? That was your choice. Yeah, ignore me now because you know I'm right. Your dad left. If you want stuff, you might want to come get it now while he's gone. I'm going to report the phone stolen if you don't return it, and I don't think I'm going to care what they do to... Some people really, really shouldn't be parents. Like, I don't know the backstory of what's happened here, but how can you treat your child like that? like for wanting to go out as an adult. Okay, we're going to move on from that one. Our future alligator wrestler. And yes, it's alive. What the actual heck is going on here? I mean, I can see that the alligator's mouth is taped shut, but how foolproof is that? Do they have claws? I would not be letting an alligator tame, mouth taped shut, no matter how safe it seemed, it's still an alligator not coming near my child. Why would you want to encourage your child to go into something that is really dangerous? Like, if that is something that they grow to discover on their own and that's an interest they have, fine. I don't know how happy I'd be if my child did a job or something that literally put their life at risk on a daily basis, but you can't control other people and their lives. But a literal like baby, putting an alligator, a live alligator on top of a baby and being like, future alligator wrestler, gonna push him into wrestling deadly creatures. Oh yes. No, we don't do that. I sincerely hope today was as sad, lonely and empty for you as it has been for me. Got the card you sent, thank you, love you too. How can there be nothing in between that? Guess my Mother's Day card showed up a day late. So you send a card, it doesn't quite arrive. I mean, and isn't like Mother's Day is Mothering Sunday, right? So, you know, sometimes it doesn't show up on the exact day. Ooh, just immediate kind of like hatred and like, well, I hope you've had a shit day too. You know, if you were really upset, why not call and just be like, oh, hey, you know, I felt a bit lonely today. I thought I'd give you a call because it's Mother's Day. And then you'd probably have been like, oh yeah, I sent you a card, sorted. I don't really know how I'd have gone about that if it was like Father's Day and I didn't hear anything from my kids. But I feel like also often parents who might just receive a card in the post and not like a phone call or a visit or a text. And, you know, given this immediate response from her, maybe there's a reason there's a more distant relationship going on. Yeah, some people only send a card for a reason. Things I don't do as a mum that would send all the woke mums into a coma. Let my son wear dresses. What if he wants to wear a dress? Vaccinate. Encourage modern feminism. Send my kids to school. Most of the time, I'm not saying all the time, just most of the people I've heard about who homeschool their children, it is not for any reason of like, oh, I think I could give them more time and attention and teach them the curriculum better than an environment, or like, you know, my child struggles with large groups in schools and so they just find it easier to learn in a home environment, blah, blah, blah. Very rarely is it that. Most of the time that I hear, and I'm not saying it's never that, absolutely there are parents out there homeschooling their kids in fantastic ways for like very valid, non-controlling reasons, but a lot of the things I hear, especially on the internet, it is this specific reason of like, I don't send my kids to school because I don't want my kids to learn about anything other than what I approve of. And it's like, you are going to be raising a very sheltered child who will struggle a lot when they are then put out into the open world and discover what they like and who they are, and it could really delay them discovering who they are. And the final one is let my kids choose their gender or pronouns. Oh God. I see a lot of the younger generation, like with Shaba's sisters are all younger and some of them are still like secondary school age, and I see just how open they are and the way they talk about their classmates and their friends, and the environment in schools nowadays just seems a lot more open-minded and accepting. Each generation we're seeing more and more people feeling able to come out and discovering themselves at a younger age, and I think that's fantastic. And there's definitely this group of people out there who are desperately clinging on to this like,
no, times are not changing. My child will not learn about this new accepting, open-minded view that a lot of people are having nowadays. I do not want them to discover anything about themselves other than they see the world exactly how we see it and they are cisgender and straight. That is the only thing we will accept, and they are unvaccinated and not feminist.
or not modern feminists. What do they mean by that? I just wanted to wash my clothes is the title of this post. I'm going to tell you this once again. Don't you ever wash clothes in the washer. Well, isn't that what a washer is for? Take all this trash out again. I'm sorry, but I needed them washed. I didn't want you to do them because I didn't want it to be an inconvenience to you. But you don't have to be mean to me for trying to take care of things myself. I don't really see the issue because I know how to do laundry just fine. I thought it was helpful because you'd have to do less. No thanks. I've told you before, unless you can replace it if it F's up while you are using it, Don't touch it. I said no. You want to do your laundry? Walk your ass to a laundry mat. A laundry mat. The mat of laundry. Understood, because obviously you didn't get it. But when I told you this before, you are 18 now. No one is legally obligated to keep you anymore. So follow the rules, please, or get to stepping. I got you a Christmas present tonight. I'm sorry. What's the big deal? The washer could break at any moment. The washer could break while the parent is using it. Literally, why is the kid getting punished for doing a household chore to help their parent? And after explaining why they did it, why did the parent just like get even more venomous about it? I don't play with my kids. I talk to them. I feed them, I read to them, I cuddle them, I kiss them when they are sad, and I work to pay for their lives.
Pay for their lives.
They have friends to play with. I would rather die than play with them. It is boring beyond acceptability. But play is such a essential part of a child's life and development, and it's not just children who can play. Like, some of my favorite memories, just like sitting here thinking about my childhood, some of the things that come to mind, especially some of my favorite memories with my dad, is like playtime, is like playing football in the garden, or just like playing games. Like, my dad used to pretend to be a climbing frame. Like, I feel like that's a really classic thing, and just I could not believe not playing with your kids. Like, so what if they've got toys out and they are like, hey, can you join me? Because like, kids are like that. They want you to be involved. They want you to be with them. Do you just say no? Like, if your kid is like playing with some toy cars or whatever, or a truck or a doll, are you just like, no, I don't join. I feed you and I clothe you and I cuddle you, and that is it. Do not play. I mean, at least they talk to their children. Mum upset I put devil horn filter on my baby. Okay. Take the devil horns off my granddaughter, please. Not funny. I was at church today, slain in the spirit by God, laying on the altar. We don't play games with the devil. He's the enemy. He kills, steals, and destroys, and there is no love in him. Can you just put little flowers in her beautiful hair? Can you not? A little bit intense. Everybody has their own beliefs. Not what? I love my little grandbaby. Why do you think they call her grand? Because you're a grandparent? Because you're not a parent. You do that again to an innocent picture, you won't be getting any more. Don't talk to your mother like that. Honestly. I know it's easier said than done, but like, no, I don't know how to phrase it without getting too personal, so we're gonna leave it. Not about my parents. I love my parents. I'm very close to my parents. They are nothing like this, but just, I don't take shit from people in my life. And I know it's easier said than done, and I'm in a very privileged position to be able to say that and do that. And then after that, the mum sent like this massive passage about studying God, and everything's preparing for Jesus Christ to return, the rapture of the earth. And oh, I love you more than anything. I wanted to tell you this, and I have a very, very hard time understanding why you don't want to know. That's your beliefs. If you want to have that belief system, go live your life with those beliefs, but you don't have to push them on other people. Nobody's trying to convince you out of that. Nobody's trying to disrespect you personally as having those beliefs, but the child clearly in part does not agree with the mom's opinion on religion. And I just, why is it so difficult to understand? Why is it that things like this it just seems to be acceptable to push it down people's throats? And this really is something that gets pushed down people's throats. I respect people's religious views, but like, I would also expect that respect to be two-way, and like my views on it to also be respected, and us live our lives with our own views. Mother automatically assumes I stole her AirPods. Okay. Did you take my AirPods? You must have. Hello? Answer now. I want them back now. Thief. It says edited. What did they send? I did not. Why would I take yours? Yeah, sorry, I found them. So small and stupid. Why? Why not just like take a minute, take a breath, calm, have a look. Oh, they're right there. Okay, I don't need to accuse my child of stealing. I called my baby fart. But people keep pronouncing it wrong. How is it meant to be pronounced? PH makes an F sound in most, I mean, it depends what language, I guess. I'm judging hard if this was given to a baby in like an English speaking context, or another context where fart is a word and heart and ph are pronounced similarly. Or lots of people would understand that, because like, you got to think about how the child is gonna deal with that, like going to school and telling other people their name, and even if it's not pronounced fart, awkward. A little funny story. I've been no contact with my mum since 2018 due to physical abuse mainly. I've not seen her at all since then, but last month she saw me in the supermarket. I ignored her staring and carried on. They started this with a little funny story. It's quite deep so far. Yesterday I received court paperwork as she wants visitation to my child. Funny part. Okay, I was shopping with my friend's toddler. Child is not mine. She wants visitation to someone else's child. I'm going to court though, just to see the look on her face. I mean, imagine being like no contact with your child for, I mean, if this was posted recently, that's like 5 years, coming up to 6 years, and you see them with a child and your automatic thing is to demand contact with that child who you are assuming is your grandchild. Why do you think you deserve that? Why? Genetics don't mean anything. If you're not in touch with somebody, why do you think that you deserve to have any role in their life or the lives of those around them? It's just so entitled. Does this count as insane? My dad posted this on Facebook the day I moved in with my mother. I was 16. My burden has been lifted. My voice did something weird. She is my problem no more. That's just so... My burden has been lifted. She is my problem no more. I mean, the drama in that, wow. Yeah, no, that really does count as like not very nice parenting. Imagine referring to your child as a burden and celebrating them moving out and no longer living with you. Like, I wish people like this would take more care and not become parents. Mum found out I'm not religious. Oh dear. You need God. No, I need a mum. Oh, that's really sad. That's one that's actually possible though. It's just not up to me if you'll accept me for who I am. Well then remember what I just told you. The day that happens is the day I have one son. I will not just cut you off. You will be dead to me. Wow, what a mum you are. Holy shit. Screenshot it so you won't forget. You're a horrible person. Who the would tell their kid that? Honestly, some people are awful, absolutely horrendous. Why do people like this have children? Why? Sorry, I've just seen the next picture. This is one of my former classmates. This is his second kid and he's always posting stuff like this. I'm not gonna show the image because it shows like the faces have been covered, but it shows like maybe quite a lot of distinctive tattoos and a weapon. But it's basically this guy holding a really young baby in one arm and then in the other arm holding quite a hefty gun. Why? And like the automatic reactions, which I can't show. So cute. Double heart. Yes. Smiley face. Like, why is this being allowed to be posted? Why do people do this? Very odd behavior. That is your child. Is this normal? Felt funky. Who are you talking to? Dead name. What? I'm literally scrolling Reddit. Who are you talking to? I'm not talking to anyone. We could hear you. It sounded like you. I cleared my throat, if that's what you're asking. I don't think that's normal. Like, unless maybe a kid has a history of sneaking people into the house and the parents are like trying to avoid that from happening. It's not normal to just hear a sound coming from your child's bedroom and be like,
Who the F you talking to?
and with the whole dead name thing, is that like because this is from before they changed their name or the parents just aren't respecting the change of name? And that's everything for today that we're going to react to. I think that's probably all I can deal with for one video on this topic. What did we think? I mean, I think the take-home message is like, why do people who are going to treat their kids like that have kids? I don't know. It's just so sad. Anyway, leave your comments down below. Think about giving the video a thumbs up and subscribing, or possibly becoming a member of the Spud Squad or a little tater tot by clicking the little join button down by subscribe. But there's no pressure to do any of that. Just letting you know it's there if you want to know about it. And yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye.